'Cause you were born with mischief in your eyes and fire in your veins.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a book review for Melokai by Rosalyn Kelly. This is the first book in the Heart of the Mountain series, and it comes out on October 10th of 2017. So I was actually contacted by Rosalyn herself via email asking if I would like to read and review this book. So yes, I did get a free copy of this book in exchange for an honest review, and as always, that in no way shapes my opinion of this book, which I actually really ended up enjoying. So yes, as I said, it comes out on October 10th, and it is published by N. Walters Publishing. I also think it's partially just self-published. I'm not completely clear on it, but as far as I know, there isn't physical copies coming out, at least not that I could see through Amazon or Barnes & Noble, but it will be 99 cents on both the Kindle and the Nook. So yeah, let's just get into my review, and I'm sorry if I start doing this. Unfortunately, as I've said on my channel before, I had an infection. Still can't wear my glasses fully. I'll get to that in an update video though. So yes, the beginning of this book was actually fairly interesting. I wasn't fully drawn in right at the start, but I was like fully drawn in and heavily invested by the end of chapter 1. Once the prophecy was given, and that's not really a spoiler, it's about a prophecy. It's easy to read from the description of the book. So yeah, Faraz, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of these names correctly, I apologize if I'm not, but yeah, Faraz seemed like a very interesting character in his first chapter, and he did end up becoming a fairly interesting character throughout the book. I really liked how some of the world building in this really seemed like a story within the story. It wasn't all just I don't know, it was like some of it was someone telling a background story or something, and that built the world up, stuff like that. The character building was done fairly well, however, with how subtle it was, I did feel like some detailing was left out. I did have a bit of trouble being able to depict or remember some characters throughout this. But it did end up getting better throughout the book, but especially in the beginning it was kind of an issue. I don't know. But Chaz really amused me with his scholarly ways, because it was like totally could see it, and I totally, like, it was so something that I would do. I was really glad to be able to fully picture the Trogger. I don't know how you pronounce it. After having a bit of trouble picturing the characters at the start of this, I did end up, like I said, having a bit of an easier time as you went through the book. So the character building is very slow, I feel like, but it didn't really take away from the book for me. It was just a little slow. I was completely drawn into Dario's point of view. I'm trying not to give spoilers, as always, but, you know, so I'm saying these characters' names, and you guys will read about them in the book and understand why I'm talking about these characters once you start reading it. It was definitely different. I enjoyed the style of Dario's point of view a lot. Yeah, it was really interesting, and I don't think I've read a lot of point of views like it, so it was pretty cool. I feel like Ramya and, again, the pronunciation, Gwrlain, it's Gwrlain. I just don't know. I definitely think, you know, I would love to have like a pronunciation guide. I don't know if she has one on her website or not, but I would love a pronunciation guide for some of these names. I felt like their relationship was a bit too much insta-love for me. I would have preferred a little bit of a slower build, but I can understand why it was at the same time, because a lot was packed into this book, and I don't know, it's just like I had an issue with it, but at the same time I didn't. So it's weird. I really started to not trust certain characters after chapter 8, and I feel like I was right not to trust them, but I don't want to give anything away, like I said, so that's all I'm gonna say. Once you hit chapter 8, by the end of it, you know who not to trust. Well, depending on whose side you're on, I'll say that. I liked getting to read all the sides of the story because this is about a rebellion and about another war and just like a bunch of stuff going on at once. So I liked getting to read all the sides, all the different points of view, from the wolves to the rebellion to the Melokai, and to just getting to know everyone's realities of the situation and why they're doing the things they're doing. So there was a chapter that really bothered me in the story, and it's going to bother some people. It's not, it's just something that, like, it's not something that can be helped. I mean, I think this part needed to be in the story, but there was a character, Gani, and he was a god worshipper. He was basically a priest. And so there was a lot of animal sacrifice and blood sacrifice, and it just really bothered me because, I am a huge animal lover, so anything with, like, that kind of stuff bothers me. Like I said, I feel like it needed to be put into the story. I think, like, all this kind of stuff was very good world building and stuff, because there are cultures that do that. And this really seemed to be like a Middle Eastern Egyptian culture, and like this city seemed that way. And I understand that there are still parts of the world where they sacrifice the animals and stuff for their religion. So I completely understood it. It just bothered me. Yep, so the point of views did end up getting quite a bit confusing in this. Like, at certain times, especially when a new one was introduced, because there are 8 different points of view in this. But overall, it really did help build the story very well. But when a new character was introduced, especially with that issue that I was having with starting to remember characters at the start, the point of views did get a bit confusing, but it worked out in the end. I didn't have as much trouble in the end, and it was interesting. So, I don't know, I feel like they helped. You do really feel for some characters in this with stuff that happens, and it sucks. Like, there is some tragedy in this that I wish wasn't in it, but it adds to the story, and it makes that factor of you just wanting to read it even more and being drawn in more. And so yeah, it's like, I wish it wasn't in there because it's really sad, but at the same time, it's good that it was in there because it really helped with the story. You're gonna hear a page turn here. So yeah, because I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, basically the second half to the last third of the book, I didn't really write anything about because it was like, I don't want to spoil anything, and so yeah, and so it's like, it's kind of a jump into like the last thoughts here. So I really did like that there was still some world building towards even the end of the book. Even in the end, you were still getting world building and build up for the next book, because there is 2 more books coming out, and it's going to be a trilogy, so I can't wait to read the second book. Already, I can't wait. So I was really, really drawn into the ending battle, but again, spoiler free. But, I was just so invested by that point in these characters that I wanted to see what was going to happen, and I ended up, like, power reading the last few chapters of this because I just wanted to know what was going on, what was going to happen, all this other stuff, and it was just so good. I'll put it like that. So, and my last thought of this was that the ending made me very excited for book 2. I'm pretty sure that book 2 is going to be called V, just the letter V, which is actually a character in this book. Oh, I had a hiccup. But yeah, it made me really excited for it. I can't wait to read it. Overall, this book was a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. I took off that half a star just because of the issues that I had with the character building at the start and the point of views and stuff. I don't feel like... I feel while the points of view were needed, there was a little too many for me in this. But that's all. So, yeah, I absolutely love this book. I can't wait to read the second book. I want to give a huge thank you to Rosalyn for reaching out to me and allowing me to review this book for her. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I highly suggest you check it out. I will leave a link down below to the Amazon page for it, and to the Goodreads page, and to Rosalyn's website. And yes, I hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to share the video with your friends. Get this book out there. Yes. And let me know down below if you guys want to read it, or if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, everyone.
'Cause you were born with mischief in your eyes.